been a minute, hadn't it? I thought I'd take just a few minutes and tell you what's been going on with me. I've got some more videos coming up, I hope. Man, there's a lot. Let's see what's happened. Well, the first thing you may notice is that I may look like I weigh a little bit less. I've been going to the gym 4 times a week, lifting iron, pumping. No, that's not true. I've been just taking a shot for the past probably 2 or 3 months, and I've lost about 40 pounds. Trizepatide, I guess, which has been pretty freaking weird. It kills your appetite. You process food slower. You can't really drink beer because the alcohol doesn't have any effect, so what's the point? So that's happened. I've lost weight. I feel better. That's good. As far as my business goes, the locksmith business, I've tried to downsize a little bit. I've gotten rid of all employees, anybody working for me, because at the end of the day, if you can't find somebody that's worth a dang to work for you, then it just ends up costing you money, and it becomes a diminishing return. So I've tried to cull some of the stuff that I do. AAA Motor Club, I was a contractor for them for 30 years, and finally I just said, look, I don't want to do lockouts because it was, you know, constant, having to hire somebody, having them on call, me on call, go run and unlock a car for a little bit of money, not enough to make it worth it. So now we just make keys for them. What else is going on? Okay, so I bought a brand new Tesla in October, a Y, and then I think like a month and a half later, it got totaled. The kid pulled out straight in front of me. I'm going to put a link down below to Wham Bam Tesla Cam, and that's going to, the first one on that video is going to be my wreck of where we wrecked the car. Fought with insurance for a while. They wanted me to lose like $20,000 after I bought the car. Actually a little over $20,000 because of the self-driving and depreciation, blah 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 blah. So I had to fight with them, and because the kid that pulled out in front of me, he was driving a hoopty, and he was only insured for like 50 grand. So it was actually more than what he was insured for. So I don't know if my insurance is going to sue his mother or whatever. But anyway, so that car got totaled. I bought a little 3 that was used. It was a great car. Drove it, and then the new Juniper came out. So I bought a Juniper Tesla, and Jennifer absolutely loves it. It's an amazing car. Love it. Absolutely, probably the best car I've ever had. I'll be doing some videos on that. Let's go outside in the heat, and I'll explain what else is going on. Man, it's hot out here. It's about 95 degrees. Good thing I'm not fat. Behind me is my 2020 Dodge Ram Promaster Super Work Van. It's got 78,000 miles on it. I knew when I bought it that these vans had issues with motors and transmissions, and you know, the rest of it's just a big box, right? For work out of, and the gas mileage is about 12 miles per gallon, maybe 11 on a good day, 11 and 12 miles per gallon. Now the problem with this van is at about 60,000 miles you had to change the transmission fluid, and I did, and it was starting to act up a little bit in reverse, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. You know, it would go in reverse and there'd be like a little shudder. Well, when I changed the transmission fluid, this is just one, but this is a piece of gearing that was in the bottom of the pan. So I knew there was an issue with the transmission. When I bought it, I knew that they were garbage transmissions to start with. They basically put a caravan transmission with a high-end gear on the last shift, on the last gear to drive these huge vans. So I knew there was issues with the transmission. So I bought, I think it was $2,400, a Mopar factory warranty. Woo-woo! How exciting was that? Now, I did take it down to the dealership after finding the gears in the bottom and going in reverse causing issues, and this is what happened. Alright, I came back inside because there's no reason to just sweat outside to do a video. Okay, so take the van down to the dealership, say, can I speak to the service manager? Because it's a work truck, right? Service manager's not available. What I was told is that yes, the transmission is going out, that it is covered under your extended Mopar drivetrain warranty. You can leave the van with us. We'll have to put it up on the lift, but we only have one lift, so it may be a while. I was like, great. So then they said, the problem with this is that the transmissions are an infinite back order. Might take a month, might take 6 months, could be up to a year that we have to have your van to be able to get a factory reman transmission under warranty. And I said, are you serious? And he said, yes, absolutely. So I guess Dodge expects you to take your van after you buy a factory warranty, drop it off to the dealership for a year, right? This is a known issue. For a year, there should be a class action lawsuit. I'm going to do another video on that. However, leave it there for a year, and then maybe they'll fix it, and then you can start driving your work truck again. Ridiculous. At this point, if it's on flat ground, it will go in reverse a little bit. If I'm at an incline, I would have to get a wrecker to winch me up, because it won't go in reverse. It just wham, wham, you can feel it hitting. So I mean, it's gotten to the point now that I have to be careful where I park. I have to pull through in parking lots. If I go into a customer's driveway, I have to actually let it roll down, and then it'll pull back out, because if I pull in forwards, I'm going to be stuck there. So I knew I had to do something with the stupid van. Now, I did some work on my NV200. It was wrecked in the back. I was having someone else drive it. It took all the lettering off, and where it was wrecked, I put I put 2 new doors on it. I got a used door, and then I had another one. So I went ahead and repaired all the back end on this truck, so it looks good. This van has about 1,210,000 miles, something on it. It runs decent. I got in it, and the air conditioner was out, so I had to put an evaporator in it. I'm in the middle of finishing that back up. The air conditioning's working again. Put a steering wheel cover on. So, I mean, it's a good little van, but it's really too small for what I want to do. And at my age and stage, I don't like trying to stoop, get into it, and scoot around inside. I want to be able to walk around the inside of a van. So, this van is going to be going up for sale. I should get about 10 grand for it, something like that. Awesome! But that still doesn't fix my problem of what am I going to drive when I drop off my van for some undetermined amount of time. So where did that leave me? Well, that left me with still a broken van with a warranty that would pay for fixing it. A friend of mine, Jim, who owns another locksmith company, he had an aftermarket warranty and got a Jasper transmission. He ended up paying $3,500 out of pocket because it was like 7 grand to get a transmission replaced. And I'm like, no way, I bought a warranty, they're going to fix it. So I was kind of out on that. I started looking for, okay, let me see if I can upgrade. Started looking for a hybrid van. Is there any hybrid vans made? No. You either have to buy a Ford, Mercedes, and there's some E-vans coming out. The Promaster E, I don't know, I think Mercedes makes an electric one, and then the Transit E's. But those are all over $85,000, $80,000 roughly. And I didn't want to spend that much on a van. When I started searching, though, I did find something that was interesting. I looked online, and it looked like that Chevrolet had a plethora of electric vans that they made. Started out as a Zevo, and then they rolled it into Chevrolet, and they had parking lots full of these things. Now, Chevrolet, in their infinite wisdom, when they came up with this van, they said, we're only going to sell them to fleets, which meant people like me, individuals, can't buy one, because I'm not going to buy 20 of the things. They were almost like a Rivian van as far as electric vans go, as far as being able to buy one. But now, because they've not been able to sell any, they started selling them to individuals. And what Chevrolet decided was, we're going to knock $21,500 off the sticker price right off the bat. So now this $70,000 van gets down in the 40s, and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty interesting. Back in the day, my favorite truck that I ever had was called a UMC. That was a company that made, I think, postal trucks or something, like step vans and stuff. But my favorite truck was a UMC Aeromate, and it looked like this. Had a Caravan 3.3 engine, I think, in it, a V6. Rode like a freaking log wagon, but you could drive with the doors open. It was a square back. It was a great truck. It actually was my favorite vehicle that I've ever had, as far as like, and I've had ambulances, I've had Ford Econolines, I've had this Dodge, I've had Nissans. This truck was absolutely my favorite, just for size, maneuverability, you know, because it was, it had a great turning radius, and I love the truck. I ended up wrecking it into it was like a lawn care truck in the middle of the road over a top of a hill, and I crunched it, and then that was it for the UMC Aeromate. They quit making them after a few years, but absolutely love that truck. So when I started looking at the Chevrolet Zevo Brightdrop, and you may wonder where they got the name Brightdrop. Well, it's from bright, which means intelligent, drop meaning delivery. So they made these for deliveries. They didn't make them for, you know, like me, a locksmith company or plumbing company or electricians or anybody else, all the other billions of people that buy work vans, right? They were going to just do it for deliveries, which, great, whatever. So I started researching the van. I went and drove one down at Carl Black Chevrolet in Nashville, got a price on it, and then I started doing some internet searching because that's what you do. And I found one for $5,000 less with, like, it actually ended up being like almost $7,000 because the dock fees were less in Alabama. So last week I drove down to Alabama and picked it up. And this is what it looks like. I would venture to say that you've never seen one of these on the road. I would actually put money on it because I've never seen one before. But I went and drove and picked it up. I ended up getting it for $43,500, something like that, plus tax, which was another $5 grand. So 100% electric. It's got a 170 mile range, about 225, maybe 250 in town because it regenerates electricity. Drives like a dream, it really does. Because of my Tesla, I already have a charger at home, so I can use that. And the question is, can I turn this into the ultimate locksmith van just using electricity rather than the gas motor? I'll be adding solar to it. I'll be adding a 12-volt air conditioner in the rear, insulating, putting in shelving. So that's going to be a little video series on what you can do with one of the Donahoe Chevrolets where I bought it. What you can do with one of these vans, but I'm pretty happy with it because at that point I'll have this van emptied out. I will drop it off at the dealership and say fix it. I will wear them out. I will wear out Chrysler customer care until I get some resolution to the transmission issues that I've paid for a warranty on. Now I'll take the stickers off of it and then I'm going to sell it. So roughly when I sell this van with a brand new transmission and the NV200, it will about pay for the new van and I will be in great shape. So that's kind of the plan on that. So the van actually is a lot like the Aeromate. It drives great, maneuvers well, camera system's amazing. I'm getting it tinted next week. I'll do a little test on what the temperature on the inside is before the ceramic tint and after the ceramic tint because I think that'll be interesting. I think that's costing like $600 because they're going to do the windshield and everything on the back. Dropping it off next week at my the tint guys. And in the meantime, right, and here's one last thing. I go up to Canada to visit Steve and Bonnie. We love them. That's Jennifer's cousin and Steve-O. He's been on a couple videos. He's got a Tesla. He's got a Cybertruck. So we go up to Canada, and I don't feel that great. I start getting a headache. I weld some stuff for him on a lawnmower, and I start feeling like crap. I mean, literally like crap. I started getting this headache. Just couldn't breathe well. I was out of breath. Just didn't know what was going on. By the time that we're coming back from Canada, we were there for like 5 days. By the time I'm coming back from Canada, I can barely get to the airport without just breathing heavy. Jennifer was like, let me have your suitcase. Let me roll that. You're just struggling. So I come back. They do x-rays. They do this. And they said, you have pneumonia. You've got walking pneumonia. And I was like peeing blood. It was bad. My kidneys were in bad shape. And I'm just like, what in the heck's going on? I'm like feeling like I'm going to black out when I get out in the heat. And pretty much what I think happened is I got COVID. I got some weird COVID going up to Canada, and it could be related to the weight loss because you don't eat as well when you're doing this weight loss. You don't eat very much. So I maybe think I was more susceptible. I started taking zinc and vitamin D, and I started feeling better. But it's been about 2 weeks since we got back, and I'm just now starting to feel like I'm back to normal and I'm going to start doing some projects. So it's been, yeah, it's been great, I tell you. Going to finish up the Toyota videos because the Yoda's done. It looks beautiful. Finish those up so you can see what it ended up looking like. And going to be a video series on the Brightdrop on doing electrical, because you know what, you can find a million videos how to do an RV, but no videos on like a work truck or anything like that, because this is such a weird thing. If you Google Brightdrop, there is not that much information. There's not many conversions. Hopefully they're going to sell some of these vans I got sitting around, but we'll see. It's got an 8-year 100,000 mile warranty on the battery. I'm fairly happy with that, because by that time I may be still around. Who knows? You never know. Time is not promised to anyone. But I wanted to do a catch-up video, let you know what kind of videos I'm going to have up. Oh, and I've got a Chevrolet 1-ton that I'm going to be putting on underneath rocker panels. Seems to be a pretty common problem on a lot of these Chevrolets. You can see the rocker panels are just rusted out, so I'm going to be replacing those. I've already got all the equipment, I've already got all the stuff to do it, so that'll be fun. And painting those for the owner of this building, friend of mine, Ronnie, because his are rusted out and they need to be done, and I told him I'd do it. I've got those, so I'll be doing that. So that's what's coming up. I appreciate you watching. Any questions, comments, post them below. I'm still here, most of me, except for the 40 pounds that I'm not carrying around anymore. Look at that. I'm just svelte. Look at this. Anyway, hopefully I can get this into the ultimate gas-saving electric van for work on a Brightdrop. Won't that be interesting? Appreciate you watching. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.